Okay, camera doing your own thing. Is this really what we're doing? Is this how we're starting right now? The camera just moving by itself? Yo, it's scary story day. Mm-mm. And it's recording. It's recording. Okay, since we're just recording, let's. This is what we're doing now. Okay, then. Hello. Since my camera's just recording, let's just get into this because this is wild. Already start off like this. Why we doing this? Already, camera. Mm-mm. So we have a story to read. Turn the freak up. We got email submission. Turn up. Okay, let's go. Hey Shawnee, love your personality. Hope you enjoyed this story. Thank you so much, and I appreciate you for the story. Let's get it. It happened about 15 years ago, back when I was just a kid, 8, maybe 9, growing up in the Bahamas. Okay, well, okay. A normal school night, the kind of where the air is still and the crickets hum outside your window. I'm liking this story already. Like, this really sounds like a real story. I went to bed early, same as always. And then sometime after midnight, I woke up. At first, I didn't know why. The room was quiet, too quiet. My sister was asleep next to me, breathing softly. But something felt wrong. I tried to roll over. I couldn't. Girl, is it sleep paralysis? It hit me all at once. I couldn't move, not an inch. My arms, my legs, even my neck frozen. The only thing I could move were my eyes. Panic creeped in like cold water seeping through cracks. I tried to scream for my sister, but no sound came out. My throat was locked, like someone had reached inside and stolen my voice. Then I felt it, a weight, heavy. We know what this is, honey. That's it. Pressing down on my chest, pinning me to the bed. It was like someone was sitting on me, someone I couldn't see. I could feel the pressure, the heaviness, the air leaving my lungs, but there was nothing there. I searched the room with my eyes, desperate to see who or what was doing this to me, but there was nothing, just darkness, thick and heavy like it was alive. Ooh. It lasted maybe 3 minutes, maybe forever. Then suddenly I could move again. My body jerked upright, my breath ragged, and I tried to scream, but still no sound came out. I turned to my sister and shook her awake. I waved my arms, pointed to my throat, trying to show her I couldn't talk. She just frowned, half asleep, and said, "Go tell daddy." Girl, I just said I can't talk. Sorry. I got into it. So I did. The hallway was dark, the air cold against my skin as I walked towards my father's room. I still couldn't speak, but I tried to explain with wild gestures, pointing to my throat, to my chest, hoping he'd understand. He just looked confused. "Go back to sleep," he said. And I did. Oh, girl, I will be up. I will go back to sleep. I'll be up for a minute. Somehow I turned around, walked back down the hallway, crawled into bed, and fell asleep like nothing happened. Yeah, that's how it is. I was scared for a second, and then it's like, oh, I gotta go to sleep. When I woke up the next morning, my voice was back. My throat ached a little, but I could speak again. At breakfast, I asked my sister and my dad if they remember me waking them up last night. They both looked at me like I was crazy. "You didn't come in my room," my dad said. My sister shook her head. "You didn't wake me either." "Then who was that? Who? What? 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 Were you? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Were you astral projecting?" Okay, I'm gonna keep reading. I freaked out for a second, like, wait, what? How? That's when I noticed it. While brushing my teeth and washing my face in the bathroom mirror. While brushing my teeth and washing my face in the bathroom mirror, I saw a lump on my neck, swollen and round, the size of a tennis ball. My stomach dropped. I ran to my dad and showed him. He went pale. Without a word, he grabbed his keys and rushed me to the car. He sat me in the back seat and went inside, probably to give my sister her bus money. While I waited, I started to feel weak. My head grew heavy. My body went limp. My vision dimmed, and then everything went dark. Oh my goodness, I'm glad he acted fast. I could still hear my dad's footsteps, the car door opening, the engine starting. We began to drive. The road hummed beneath the tires. My name echoed through the blur of sounds, then nothing. The next thing I remember was light. Bright white hospital light. A doctor's face hovering above me. Voices muffled, fading. The darkness again. Then I wake up next. I was back in the car on the way home. I never found out what the doctor said. I missed school that day, and for a week I was too weak to eat, surviving on Pediasure and Gatorade until I felt normal again. But that night never left me. I understand why. Because here's the thing, dreams fade. You forget the details, the sounds, the way the air felt, but not this. 15 years later, I still remember everything. The pressure on my chest, the silence when I tried to scream, the way my body refused to move, the feeling that I wasn't alone in that room. It didn't feel like a dream. It felt real, too real. And sometimes when I wake up in the middle of the night, I swear, just for a second, I can still feel the weight pressing down on me, like it was waiting for me to wake up again. What? Okay, I gotta finish this out because I'm an honest young man. Yo! I've been saying girl this whole time. I'm an honest young man, so I'll say this right now. This is 100% my real life experience that I experienced as a child. I suck at home stories, so I just write down the experience, and then I had AI decided back down for me in the morning, neat, tidy, scary fashion. So it's still my real story. I just had AI tidy it up for me. I appreciate that. I respect that. Hope you enjoy. I definitely enjoy. That is wow. Like, I'm so glad your father acted quickly, and how I believe that it's real, but also how to reassure and confirm it for yourself. Because I experience moments, and I'd be glad that I experience it with other people, so I can confirm, go back every now and then and be like, hey, you remember that? And they'd be like, yeah, I remember that. That was real life. It's the hospital records. Like, you can't disprove that. Like, the hospital records. So yeah, friend, no, that was definitely sleep paralysis that I guess went to astral projecting, because you thought you woke all these people but you didn't. But oh my goodness, because I was like, that's really weird that you couldn't speak. I wonder, like, yo, what was it? Like, was it a health condition? Like, yo, a lump. It was just so much. Thank you so much for sharing your story. That was scary. The fact that you still, like, I wonder, do you still, well, did it say 15 years later you still experience this, like that feeling that someone's there, bro? I don't like it. I don't like it at all. And I'm gonna pray for you, because that's scary, super scary. But thank you so much for sharing.
This is the scariest story that I've ever read. If you're new here, hi. I usually talk about pretty scary stuff, and I very rarely post videos from my bed, but I have been prolonging making a video about the story that I just read for probably like an hour and a half. And it's not only because it is so scary, there were some really strange things happening in my home when I was reading it. And I don't mean like this was a feeling that I was having in my stomach or anything. Like, I was genuinely hearing physical things happening around me. And if you're not new here, then you know that this has happened before with one other story, and it was about the same topic. But I just read a story about possession. So let's get into it. And before I start, I do just want to say I do keep moving my eyes around the room that I'm in, because I keep hearing things when I stop recording or when I start recording, and it's kind of freaking me out. But the story comes from someone who would like to remain anonymous, and for obvious reasons, I'm going to respect that. And the person who sent me this email says that they dabble in a bit of witchcraft. And what I think is interesting is at the beginning of this email, they say that they dabble in witchcraft and proceed to say, I have always found the spiritual realm very interesting, but now I am so scared of it. And proceeds to say that these instances happen over the course of months. Now, the person who sent me this email says that they went to go see her long-distance best friend, and the moment she walked in the door, she could feel different energies around her friend. She doesn't really specify what kind of energy is around her friend. She just says that it was different than the other energies. So they try the Estes method in her friend's house. And if you're not familiar with the Estes method, I would recommend watching a video on it, because the way I'm about to explain it is not going to make any sense. But during a paranormal investigation, one person will sit blindfolded with headphones on, and in the headphones, the sound is essentially going through frequencies of a radio station, much like a spirit box. The person who does not have the blindfold or the headphones on is asking the other one questions, and you are supposed to get answers back. Great example is Sam and Colby. They use this method a lot. So the person who submits the email is using the Estes method with her best friend, and I guess their other friend is there as well, so there are 3 people total. And while they were performing the Estes method, the person who sent me this email specifically says that she felt like she was being touched while she was asking these questions. And after a while, they decided to turn the lights off. And the moment the lights go off, she sees a face like here. This entity then approaches her best friend who is blindfolded, and that is when things go south. They immediately turn the lights on, they're screaming her name, they took the headphones off, they took the blindfold off, and she is just not waking up. After 5-10 minutes, she abruptly opens her eyes and her pupils are extremely dilated. She is very pale. Obviously, she's been pretty much knocked out for 10 minutes and she is not responding. I wish you guys could see the chills I have on my arms because she says that her friend just starts laughing. They're asking her questions and this thing is just toying with them. And after almost an hour, her friend finally comes to and is like, what the hell happened to me? And I wish it just stopped there. I am not going to get into the other instances unless people request another video out of this because it is genuinely freaking me out. I am hearing things and I know for a fact that was on video. I'm going to close out with this. In the email, the person who sent me this describes after these events happening that this thing would mimic them, try to lure them out to be alone and away from each other so it could isolate them. And I don't like that. So that's gonna do it for me for now. Stay tuned for my ghost stories.
So the whole video, I was looking for where the mic is. Where's her mic? Because I don't know if y'all heard, but I heard exhale while she was talking. Did y'all hear that? I don't know what she heard when she heard. I felt like I heard like something kind of moving, but I don't know. Like I don't know. Like I think I heard exhale, but you know, stuff been going on with my nose, but it's getting better. Yay, getting better. So I don't know if it was me because usually, like I was at the gym the other day and I kept on hearing something. I was like, "Is it the machine?" I was on the treadmill. I was like, "What is the machine is breaking out?" No, it was me breathing. So that's why I was like, "Did y'all hear that?" Because right now, I can breathe. I can breathe right now. So I feel like it's not me. Like, can you hear me breathing? I usually can't do that. And I know y'all don't know this, but I edit out my sniffles in the video because I sniffle so much. So, like, I just sniffle. I'm gonna edit it out. But yo, no, friend, that was not okay. Y'all decide to cut the lights off. After you feel something on you, you decide to cut the lights off, bruh. And the face is right here. No, it was playing with you. It jumped inside her. Oh, she was so vulnerable. That's what they be like. You're so vulnerable when you sleep. She just had her eyes closed, bruh. Listening to frequencies, that lets you know how strong frequencies are, bro. And we just letting that in your body, like, no. That's why I don't even listen to music anymore. I'm just like, when's the last time I listened to music? I listened to my playlist the other day. I was in my room, cut that light on, and I was freaking it up. I forgot how good my playlist is. It was old songs because I haven't listened to music. So that right there, eyes closed, frequencies, like, that thing was in her. She passed out. It jumped in. It was just like, let's cause mayhem. That is crazy, bro. Have you ever done an Essence test? Would you ever? I would not. Like, it sounds cool in theory. Like, I used to watch Sam and Colby all the time. Now, I don't that much because I watch so much scary stuff. I don't want that energy all the time. But, friend, no, that was scary. And then you have M's. It's emming you all over the place. You think it's this and it's trying to get you, lure you by yourself to probably do the same thing again. Like, oh, I got it. I got her. So let me get her again or get your friend again because it was touching you and it let you see it. Girl, too much is going on. Didn't I just tell y'all that my camera was being weird? And then this story happened?
This video is your sign to stop being so curious because one day that curiosity will get you in big trouble. It all started when a guy who was a business traveler found a hotel and he decided to spend the night there. So he entered the building and everything seemed normal. I mean, the hotel looked nice, and then the receptionist came. And when the receptionist came, he told the guy that almost every room in the hotel is empty, so he can pick any room he wants. This is where the guy chose the room in the 3rd floor because he wanted a nice view, but here everything changes. Because when the receptionist heard that he wanted to go to the 3rd floor, his face basically went from to... Yes, it seemed like the receptionist didn't want the guy to go to the 3rd floor for some reason. He even tried to convince him to not go. You know, he said something like, the 3rd floor, I'm not sure, sir, because, you know, some rooms in that specific floor are under renovation, so it's recommended to not go there. And when the guy heard that, he was confused. He was like, sorry, sir, but renovations at night? Yeah, bro, give me the key. It's because, okay, listen. You can go, even though it's not recommended. You can go to the third floor. I'll give you the key. But whatever you do, do not go to that room at the end of the hallway. Like I told you, their room is under renovation. And, you know, we don't want problems, so please don't go there. Yeah, understood. I mean, no, why would I go there? Just give me the key so I can go to my room and sleep. That's it. I promise you I'm not going. Now, the receptionist gave him the key and told him that his room is the first room that he sees once the elevator opens. See, those were some clear instructions, but you see, the guy was not planning on that. He wanted to see the renovations going at the end of the hallway. So the elevator doors opened, and this was supposed to be his room, but you see, the guy kept walking forward. Kept walking that hallway until the end of it, where he saw these two doors, and behind these doors there is actually some noise. Oh, this is where the guy told himself, okay, this is getting weird. I mean, these renovations he's talking about are too loud. I mean, I can hear some people talking, a bunch of people. Hold on, let's try with this door. He decided to knock on this door first, then he waited a short period of time. Nobody responded. This is where he tried to open it. When he tried to open it, surprise, nothing happened. The door was closed. This is where the guy decided to try with the second door here, and this time he was like, I'm not knocking again and waiting for too long, I will just open the door. He also told himself that if it's really renovation, that it shouldn't be that private, so he decided to open the door. So when he tried to open the door, he was surprised that this time the door actually opened and it made a lot of noise. You know when you try to open the door and it goes like, ah? Yes, he was trying to be sneaky this whole time, but the door made so much noise, he definitely got the attention of the people inside. Oh, this is where the guy panicked and he was like, okay, should I peep and say sorry? Yeah, I would probably do that. I'm sorry for... Once he took a look over that door, this is what he saw. He saw a cult doing a demonic ritual. Yes, he saw a whole bunch of people regrouped together, dressed in black robes, and looking at him like... This is where the guy understood that if he doesn't close the door and run for his life right now, then he's about to be the next sacrifice. This is where the adrenaline kicked in. The guy closed the door and he started running for his life. Kept running in that hallway, and each time he was looking behind him to see if they were following him. Luckily they wasn't, but he was running anyways. The guy's survival instincts reached their peak, okay? He was like, I'm not taking the elevator, it will take too long, I'm taking the stairs. He went down the 3 floors in 20 seconds, like it was nothing. And when he made it to the exit, he realized that the receptionist is not even here anymore. When the guy saw that, he was like, oh my god, bro, where is he? My refund, bro. Didn't even use the room. Oh my god, let's go. So while running for his life, the guy left the hotel, but he decided to come back tomorrow. Yup, that's what he did. If you're asking yourself, why the hell did he come back? Wasn't he running for his life yesterday? Well, here's what he said. He basically told himself that, look, whatever cult, demonic, ritual, sacrifices, that shit was scary last night, okay? Today is daytime. They better give me my money. He also wanted to give back the key to the room because he still has it. When he decided to come back, he was surprised. The whole building was crawling with police and it was under investigation. This is where the guy told himself, okay, you know what? You know the money? They can keep it. They're probably in jail anyways, so we both can have it. The key? Never had it, okay? I'm not getting in trouble. GG's.
Girl, what? Why was I thinking immediately when he said he knocked on the door? I literally had that thought of knock on wood. And you know they say you're not supposed to knock on wood. And I was just like, yo, I knock on doors too, bro. You knock on doors, I knock on doors. But they say you're not supposed to knock on woods because back in the day, D words would live in the trees. And that's how they would summon them. They would knock on the tree wood. So the moment he was like, oh, I opened the door, and then they was having a D word cult, it was just like, bruh. Literally just had that thought like crazy. No, friend, if you go to a hotel and they say, this whole floor, like you already get that vibe. They just like, no, I don't think you should be up there. Like, I'm gonna give you excuses on why you shouldn't be up there. Why in your right mind would you be like, oh, that's where I want to be? No, not at all. Not me. Couldn't be me. Cause what? And then you just hear noises. Like after you hear the noises from the fact that if that's a real picture that we just saw this hallway, that door was way down. Them 2 doors was way down the hall. It was dark. It was like that hall went on forever. Like, no, I'm not walking that far. Why would I walk that far, bruh? Because I didn't use the elevator. I walked up the stairs. So why would I keep on walking down the hallway when my room is right here? I'm going in the room. Girl, you hear noises behind the doors. And it's not like, oh, it didn't click like, oh, okay, construction. Like they in there doing construction. That's what he said. He said I would just take it for his word. Like, okay, they doing construction. He works here. He should know. He would know. Bro, what? Open up the door. Like, didn't wait for them to be like, hey, yeah, come in. Or, he opened up the door, peeps his head in, and sees that, bruh. Yo, I wouldn't stay there. I wouldn't come back. I would have dropped the keys off at the desk. Fuck the money. I'm never freaking the money. Like, what are we talking about? What? That's crazy. No, I would not have came back. He ran. He ran for his life. And I don't blame him. Because you had no business being in their business. Like, nah, friend. That couldn't be me. That is really wow. Yo.
If it is nighttime, you really do not want to watch this. I have had a lot of stories submitted to me from people that lived in the Denver Harbor, Houston area, but this one takes the cake. This story was submitted by a TikTok user named Alex. I will tag him below. Out of respect for everyone involved, this is all allegedly. Alex is the youngest of 4 brothers, and this story takes place back in the 1980s. I'm going to put a picture of the house here. This house was built in the 1940s, and before Alex and his family ever moved into the house, it already had a very tragic history. For the sake of the family, I'm not going to go too far into it, but I will say that some dark things happened in this house. Things that may or may not be related to dark ritualistic practices and violent crimes. Just know that the history of the house may have contributed to some dark entities being drawn to that area. That being said, the history of the house was not a concern for Alex and his family when they moved in. After moving in, this family quickly realizes that this house was haunted. Lights and radios would go on and off. The family members would hear disembodied voices in the middle of the night. But this family was having fun with the fact that their house was haunted. It didn't really bother them. It honestly became like a running joke between the family members, especially because Alex, the youngest of the 4 brothers, would actually get caught talking to someone out of his window, and they would be giggling for hours. His family members would be like, Alex, who are you talking to? His mom would even go outside to check to see if anyone was there, and no one was there. But Alex would swear up and down that the girl from school, a girl that he had a crush on, was coming to his window at night, and they were just giggling and having these conversations. But Alex was the only one that was ever able to see and talk to this little girl that was supposedly visiting him in the middle of the night. These types of hauntings would go on for about a year until this family experienced something so horrifying that it forced them to move out. Alex's oldest brother, who's about 25 years old at the time, sneaks off to the garage to smoke a cigarette. Moments later, Alex hears his brother stumbling back into the house, screaming for their father. His brother is racing towards their parents' bedroom, screaming and yelling, just, Dad, there's a lady hanging in the garage. It's the middle of the night. His father gets out of bed. He's confused. He's a little bit angry, but he can hear the panic in his son's voice. Their father's like, what the fuck are you talking about? He pushes his son out of the way. He's quickly making his way to the garage, and sure enough, he sees the exact same thing that his oldest son just saw. Alex, who's 12 years old at the time, hears that there's something going on, so he kind of sneaks his way into the garage where his brothers and his parents are. Alex kind of nudges his way past his family members that don't even notice he's there because they're staring in complete shock. As soon as Alex is able to see what his family members are looking at, the blood just runs from his face. As Alex is standing there, in pure horror, he's noting every little detail of this woman. There's a rope tied around this woman's neck. There's blood and bodily fluids coming out of her mouth. The entire garage just smelled foul. This family has no idea who or why this woman is hanging in their garage. She looks to be about in her 30s. She's got dark hair. She's white. She's wearing this red oversized hoodie that goes down to her knees. She's got jeans on, but no shoes. The entire family is staring at this hanging woman, and she's still swinging as if this just happened a few moments ago. When Alex's dad realizes that his 12-year-old is in the garage with them, he yanks him back into the house and they call 911. The entire family evacuates the house and they're waiting outside for the police. When the police arrive, Alex's father just kind of points to the house and is like, she's in the garage, the door's unlocked. Several moments go by and the officers come back out of the house with this pissed look on their face. One of the officers approaches the family and says, you know it's illegal to make a false police report. At this point, the family's starting to panic. They're looking at each other because they really saw a hanging woman in their garage. The family starts pleading with the officers, like, no, like, we're telling the truth. And the father would go inside to try to show them, but there was no one in the garage. The officers kind of looked around, but they didn't find anything, so they rolled their eyes and left. Needless to say, a few weeks after this incident, the family was out of there. To this day, all the members of Alex's family remember the hanging woman. Alex would go on to say that because of this event, he believes in the paranormal. And his family never forgot. That is all I have for this video. If you like spooky content like this, you can follow me if you want. If not, stay safe.
The freak was that, bro? The freak was that? Girl, these stories have been too much. I'm so glad it's early in the morning, bro. Early in the morning, because, oh my goodness. What I was expecting was when the 25-year-old son came and got his dad, and his dad got to the garage, I thought I was going to be gone then. But the fact that it was going with the cops makes it so much more worse. Like, so much. Yo, if this has been happening, like I wonder if people had been experiencing stuff like that so often that the cops now know that this is the house, this is the trouble house, this is the haunted house. Yo, friend, no. I want to ask the writer's parents why we giggling. Cause what was funny about the little kid talking to another little kid outside the window? That wasn't scary. That wasn't funny. And at nighttime, what are you talking about? And the fact that it's a girl from his school, was she alive? Like, was this a ghost of the girl that he sees at his school? That you remember those imaginary friends that we grew up with, that we thought was our friends. We knew, like, hey, this is a real person. But anytime we talked about them, people were just like, who? Like, we talk about it now and they don't know who they are. Was it that type of situation? Like, oh, you see her, but she ain't really here. She just your friend. She here for just you. No, friend, that was too much. And you see somebody hanging in your garage, bruh. Like, clearly they like, what? What? I want to know when the 25-year-old seen it. Because if he was just smoking and then all of a sudden it popped up, he must have saw it as soon as he walked in the garage to go smoke. That was just crazy. She ain't been there the whole day. Like, I know y'all use that garage. That is crazy. I would be questioning why did they choose our garage? Girl, it's just so much. Like, you already know it had history. And then the history is like, let us present ourselves. Like, I would want to know, after seeing that, after moving the fuck out, I would do more research to see what all happened in that house. That was scary as crap, friends. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like this video, follow all the creators. Thank you for your story. Don't forget, if you have a story, just email it to me. I really appreciate it. I will read it on here because I love y'all stories. And subscribe.